Hello and welcome to another edition of Spelunky News. We've got another Vodcast. I'm Ix. I'm here with Kinnijup.
Hey everyone.
Alright, so just before we get into the runs, one quick update. We're going to be doing another edition of The Grind. The Grind number 5 will be held this Sunday, May 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're actually going to have Kinnijup again with other runners, Criticus, Falafel, and Twiggle. And because these are some of the top runners, we're going to have them do some of the hardest challenges that the community goes after. They're going to do variants of low percent hell. We could see anything from a max low no gold hell to a haunted run to a low percent ASY. We'll see. Just really whatever the runners feel like on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone there is really good at low hell. Kurt used to have the record for it, and Raptors had a lot of sub-6 paces, and all 4 of them have variants of the category completed.
And as usual, we'll have some commentary by myself, by Polo, by Pojo, and Cold. But let's get into some of the runs that we had this week. Notably, we had a single world record, again by Kinnijup. Not a huge surprise, but this one was a big improvement over one that we featured during the last news. It was a 5:56 no gold haunted max hell. So actually a category I used to have the world record before the real runners showed up. I'm going to show just a nice little technique that I think Kinney developed inside the worm here, but it'll be over soon, so don't blink. It's so beautiful. It's the biggest glitch in Spelunky, probably. The worm out of bounds.
We knew about the out of bounds. Tactic found out about the out of bounds thing, I think, a long time ago, but no one really investigated it for speedrunning purposes until...
Yeah, it's one of the coolest tricks. I actually like the no teleporter version of it because the worm is one of the craziest, most fun parts of Spelunky in my opinion, but I also love seeing a worm defeated in about 6 seconds. Really nice to see. Plus,
yeah, you can teleport along the sides of it relatively safely too, but sometimes you take a damage. And if you're doing a no gold run like this one here, you want to go out of bounds because sometimes you'll just pick up a little piece of gold if you do the side teleport inbounds.
Very cool. So you opted to not take the teleporter through to the Moai. I guess that's...
Yeah.
I guess you had to. For no gold.
Yeah, you knew about that.
Yeah.
So this run's like a minute slower than the version just without the castle, so it was a really nice run, but it's far from what you can do with this run. It's a really rare seed though to get, as you probably noticed yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you get very few attempts, which makes the pressure of each run a little bit higher as well, so that's where it sort of balances out though.
Yep.
This is a tricky setup here.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. I got lucky there wasn't...
Yeah, you actually told me to skip a lot of this, but that 4-1 is pretty fun. We'll probably check out through the City of Gold. That's another thing that scares people who are attempting to do the no percent hell runs. No gold hell runs, rather.
Yeah, that's right. We've talked about it recently, that strat you came up with of bombing underneath the book. There's some layouts where it doesn't work, but on the layouts that it works, which are the more common layouts, it's really good. And I haven't done enough tests on the speed of it, but in terms of the safety of it, it's way better than the ones we used to do.
Definitely. We'll also see another runner later on in the stream use the same strategy. Did you get a good cascade here on Olmec, though?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I had to do it in 2 cycles because I think I messed it up a little bit.
A little too close.
Yeah, I think I triggered him early.
Yeah.
But part of it's related to where the door is.
It was nice that you hit Anubis with the bombs sort of above his head. I've had a couple occasions where if you plant bombs on his toes, he will cause some havoc and potentially throw some crust gold your way. So I don't know if that's intentional or not, but very nice.
You can also sometimes accidentally bomb one of the skeletons if you throw him too low. And then he won't take a hit. I lost a run recently to that. I can't remember what category.
Just a casual 2 damage right there. No
yeah,
problem.
That was the scariest part of the run, probably. Because it made me also have to take the rest pretty safe.
Yeah, 1 punch from Yama and you're done for.
Yeah, and since I don't have a compass, you don't know what side the exit's going to be on Yama. You can do a slightly slower but more reliable strat of drifting off to the left or right on the way you go up to see if there's crates or no crates to see if you're on the right side or not. But that usually ends up being like, I don't know, half a second slower than just hoping you got the right side. And since I don't do the slightly safer strategy that much, I didn't opt to do it here because
Sure. So nice little mechanic that you did for newer players. If you hit a living creature with a pot, the pot will never contain any gems or gold inside of it. So what he did there was very safe, very smart play. So good, just a little bit. Oh, it just ran right at his face.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I just don't have a lot of experience with that. It might even be the same speed. I have a feeling it's a tiny bit slower because you have to drift kind of far.
Very nice. So the sub 6, I believe the record was about 9 minutes 2 weeks ago. So nice job making a pretty big dent in there. So another run that we had this past week was Pojo Poopohead finally knocking off his low percent hell penalty, and this means a lot to me. He was one of the original grind participants. What we'll see is in 4-1 he had to deal with a dark 4-1, probably the worst thing you can possibly see when going for this category, but turns out this was the run that still made him get rid of his penalty.
Yeah, pretty scary layout too, with swamps, arrow traps, scorpions, and you can't even see half the stuff. But yeah, we got to meet Pojo in person back when he was grinding for low percent hell, and he had several Yama deaths way back then.
Yeah.
I was really happy to see this run happen. I've been following him really closely and watch all of his low hell streams.
It's a little unusual. Instead of throwing the bombs, he plants them and has Anubis walk over him. Anubis can be a little bit finicky, and I think he's actually lost a few runs by not being as deliberate with his bombs to kill him. But it worked, so can't say anything wrong about it. I want to skip ahead to Hell probably. Oh, we can see the end of the Olmec fight here. A pretty standard. Go ahead.
Another thing I wanted to mention was this is really fast. I know I always say really fast for first completion, but it's rare that happens with low percent hell. Like my first one was 19 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
I think this is the 3rd fastest first completion of low hell. I think.
Okay.
Maybe 4th. Yeah, I'm gonna say 4th actually, because Mazarak, Raptor, and Meow Mix, I believe, all had a faster first completion.
Interesting.
You almost never see them this fast, so that was really nice to see. That one of his fast ones was the one that worked out.
Yeah, I think he feels like he's just had it so many times that it's not patience that's going to get him this run. It's just the sheer number of attempts. So
he has some scary moments in hell.
Okay, looking forward to that. I was actually surprised because I was maybe not paying as close of attention to the community when this run dropped, but when I was putting together the runs for this news, seeing this, I was really happy to see that he was able to get this completed.
Yeah, I've seen him on Yama personally a handful of times, and I know he was on Yama off stream several times too.
Yeah. So this would be a very scary hell right here if he was going any faster than he is now.
Yeah, not a very good level to speed run.
But nothing. This section is a little bit hairy, but yeah, it's not too bad. So far, so good.
This is kind of scary.
Yeah.
He handles it well too.
Oof. I was sort of thinking, what is he gonna do with the pot? But the timing on the blue guy was just perfect.
Yeah, that was scary, and he handled it well.
Vampires have probably ended more hell runs than any other critter, I would say, for low hell.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to handling vampires and their movement patterns, but as you can see, Pojo's handling them well.
Yeah, he just went for it.
Checking to make sure that wasn't a succubus.
That spike ball trap, man. Alright, this level's the real deal. If the other ones
Yeah.
are nice, this is...
It looked like he was going to get damaged by vampires there too, but he handled it.
I love the duck. The
Yeah.
one expression you can make.
Just like, what is happening?
It's all emotions in Spelunky. The quick duck.
Now we have a really crazy moment coming up in the Yama fight here.
Still got a minute and 30 left, so...
I knew he finished the run
Yeah.
when I was watching this, because he didn't stream it, and I was still like super surprised by what. Too.
Takes him 3 times to kill that vampire there.
As long as it's not hitting him.
Yeah. That's one of those jumps where you know you can make, you know you can jump up to that, that chain. Oh man!
Yeah, he goes for this until he gets it, and I think he gets it on this one.
Jump from the higher ledge.
Hey, he got it.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
And also, he does fire guys.
He just mans up. Oh, Pojo, very nice.
Good
So it's
spot
just
to
in
play.
range. Perfect. Getting as far away from as possible here.
Yeah, I mean the fire guys.
Yeah.
Look, he could have got up there. The fire guy got all the way over there. The fire guy leaped that gap. All right, now here's the real
It's gonna
scary.
be the wrong side, right? Of course. All right.
Yeah, everything seems fine.
Oh.
Yeah, the fire guy could have.
All right. So the vaunted shoulder jump.
Yep, and he
Very
had
nice.
to do
All right. Great job, Pojo.
optimal finish.
So we had another runner break a penalty. I asked Grunting Crunchy, what should I focus on in this video? And he's just started laughing and he told me, watch 4-1. So I'll be seeing this for the first time. But here's Grunting Crunchy, his first solo eggplant run. And here's 4-1. Oh god. I've had that mummy crush my eggplant before.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, so far so good. His bomb count is pretty low. So finding a safe... Well, here's a safe spot. As long as Anubis isn't here. Alright, we're still fine. Nothing yet from Crunchy. Something goes wrong though. Nice safe spot for the eggplant.
Kind of frustrating Anubis position.
Oh wow. So he frees up Anubis here?
The ball must went down.
Wow.
So none of those bombs hit Anubis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
Is he gonna
he knows
rope
he has
Anubis?
one bomb left. Yeah, he needs that bomb for the City of Gold. What's his plan?
Rope Anubis 10 times? Please? I'll be so happy. He goes to the rope. Oh. Oh wow, get the shotgun?
Now the Thompson and
Yeah,
office.
yeah. Well no, the you can cut out
Yeah,
you can cut out his legs for sure.
Good point.
Yeah. Oh man.
This is pretty scary though.
Yeah. He doesn't know it. He's safe. He's safe to trigger the thwomp. But now I know why he told me to watch this section. You're safe. You're safe. This is what it takes to get your first completion sometimes. Ooh.
What's his plan once he... Like the scepter, I don't know if it'll drop down.
Alright, so he solved the problem. Luckily his safe spot for the for the robot is on the other side of the map. Otherwise he'd be toast right now, probably. Nice.
Wow.
What a run.
Yeah, I see why he said to walk for one.
Pretty nice. So, this seems pretty easy. I'll jump ahead to see if he's got more resources for... Okay, so he got some bombs at some point. Alright.
There's a few, yeah. Hopefully he gets enough to cascade. Yeah, he dug a tunnel.
Alright, we'll go to hell.
Cool.
He definitely had a cascade there. Good stuff by GC.
Only one bomb for hell.
Yeah.
Eggplant runs are one of the only categories I not only think isn't a bad idea, but sometimes encourage, is following the compass with bombs, because you can't whip.
Mm-hmm.
So
those
it's
ropes,
nice.
though.
Yeah, the
he's
ropes all the
protected
time.
from bats and vampires with the ropes.
Yeah.
Alright, 32nd level, not bad. So, in the back of this VOD, he was actually watching me stream, and so there's all this terrible commentary. But I definitely enjoyed that. I'm like complaining because nothing's going my way.
I remember he was pretty excited, yeah.
Yeah, he said something in stream chat like, "Hey guys, wish me luck." Just, are you, like, what run are you on, or...
I didn't even know he was talking about Spelunky.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice he has the Kapala, though. I did
very good.
Kapala on my first Eggplant. You can skip the first altar, and more often than not, you'll get another altar to break.
Yeah, especially with the new Mammoth strats, I think for any first completion, I would not break that first altar.
It definitely provides a level of comfort to have the Kapala on these.
Man, just a really rough level. This is, you can tell he's taking it slow, so I'm actually going to jump ahead to the Yama fight. This level's definitely worked out completely. Alright, where are we? Alright, here we go, Yama. Let's get that final blow. No bombs left.
Scary.
Yeah.
Can't take out spikes.
Yeah, I'd love to take out those Tikis. Hey, do you know if the Sawyer strat works for Eggplant? What we saw last time?
That's a good question.
Because that would be a really safe way to finish the run.
Well, it won't work with the mitt.
Yeah, of course not, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
goes for
where...
it! Got him! Wrong side, grab some items.
Yeah, just getting some items there. That's interesting, though. I'd really like to see if that strat works for Eggplant. I guess you could accidentally hit an imp or something, though.
That's true. That's true. That'd be a terrible way to lose a run. Alright, so looks like he pauses at this point. We have one more run by Grunting Crunchy. He's doing a Haunted Max Hell, no teleporter, that ultimately ends up being his Hell PB. So, couple nice points for him here. His previous Max Hell had actually been an all legendary items run, where the only items you pick up are the rare ones, including Vlad's Cape, Vlad's Amulet, the Chris Knife, the Plasma Cannon. So
I'm interested to see, since this is his Hell PB now, I'm interested to see what he can do when he goes all in on a Hell run.
Definitely sub 6, right?
Yeah, I would say. Let me think. Yeah, about something like 50 seconds is the
Yeah.
difference between some of the best hell runs versus some of the best no teleporter runs. You just
Let's kill the damsel. Sick. Oh, God. So you can see it's not quite as refined. He hasn't done enough worms yet. But, oh god. Still pretty nice time though. 33 seconds. Probably
Yeah,
watch...
I have a feeling he'll. That was a nice worm.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he'll get more used to the worm pretty quick.
Yeah, he's just submitted so many runs recently that it's hard to keep track of which ones are currently giving him points and which aren't. But looks like we're losing a couple of frames here.
Didn't whip the turret, nice.
Yeah, god. Okay. Oh, he just goes for it.
Just went for it.
Oh.
Really fast mothership.
So I'm gonna skip ahead to just the Yama fight. He told me he Chris knifed both of the mini bosses. Or Nubuses. Ah, the double knife! You can actually knife through both his hand and Yama's face, but with a single pull. But very nice PB, 653 max health by GC.
Yep. Nice job.
Next on our list is Saturnin. Saturnin actually had... Oh, actually we should mention GC had quite a few other runs. He had a temple shortcut at 58.2 seconds. He had an any percent of 302 that was actually a 14-second PB. And also he got a base jump PB. There might have been a couple more even, but we're not going to show them all on the broadcast.
Sub-minute temple shortcut is always promising.
Definitely. And it always... That sort of practice always helps you out later on every low percent run you do. So Saturnin has a pair of runs. He has this max low no gold that we're going to feature, but he also got a haunted max any of 321. So a very quick time. I believe that was with a teleporter. Yeah, that was with a teleporter. Yeah, here you go. Here's the worm of part of Saturnin's max low no golds. Still very good resources. But it's a jungle worm, so...
Nice pace into the worm too, and it was scary.
Definitely scary there. Yeah, he must have found the worm very quickly in the jungle. So drops the second point of health here. Will he be able to complete the run?
Yeah.
Probably.
He drops down another HP in 2-4 here, so he does the whole rest of the run on 1 HP, which is pretty impressive. I think Shin did that once with one of his, maybe his first max low percent, one of his first few anyway.
It just really helps you focus.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of people. Ooh, scary.
So there it is.
It helped him deal with that situation, but now his HP. He's still got good bombs and ropes though.
Yeah, I think I'd always take an extra rope or bomb over an extra HP.
Yeah, theoretically on max low percent, you can end up into 3-4, about to enter the mothership with 4-4-4. It just never happens.
Something goes wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember being there with 4 bombs and 4 ropes on.
I'll skip ahead. This is usually pretty uneventful. Look at his mothership run. Again, he's doing this all on 1 HP, so a little bit.
So he got on the mothership probably with a landmine and a bomb, hanging onto his ropes, which is good. Unless you're really trying to squeeze out a few extra seconds, I'd recommend getting into the mothership with bombs if you can.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I always favor using bombs over ropes, and of course, you can use UFOs, landmines, anything to take it away. But that was actually not that bad of a not that bad of a mothership. Just gonna have to use a bomb in this situation, looks like.
Very mummy. Some good reactions there. If he waited a little bit, he might have had a thwomp issue. That was not a kind 4-2.
Nice whip there. It's an easy move, but it always feels a little stressful to jump through two tiki traps.
Yep.
I actually do love seeing thwomps though on layers like this. This clears all the gold. Oh god, never mind. I was gonna say clears all the gold for free, but he's got a blocked off 4-3. Well done,
so
Derek.
No bomb.
Yeah.
Olmec. He's got all his ropes, so he probably uses some ropes for protection on the Olmec fight, but we'll find out if he needs. Scary stuff.
Yeah, 1 HP. So everything's just a little bit slower than the next time he completes it, for sure.
Yeah, he was rocking a good pace into the mothership there. Temple wasn't easy.
Very safe.
Another double Tiki situation.
He waits that extra second to see if it's been pre-triggered a second time.
Yeah, you can have a Croc Man trigger it from a distance and not notice it.
Yeah. So the Olmec fight. We know how it turns out, unfortunately, but these kill any low no gold run. I love the categories except for this part of the run because just a lot of it feels so out of your control.
Yeah, there's some little things you can do, but there was a ruby on the right side there that got crushed.
So that would have just ended the run if it was on the wrong side. Luckily he's got no gold in the crust.
Yeah.
3 extra ropes in case there's any spawns. Alright, nice job, Sat. First completion.
Nice.
Yeah. Very nice. So on a personal note, Saturnin, even though he slowed down at the end there, bopped me by a couple seconds. I was the 3rd person to complete the run maybe a year ago, but we're up to about 8 runners who have completed it. So
this is actually one of my favorite runs right now. I used to always try to get people to run it. It's really rare to finish.
Yeah.
I haven't improved mine in a long time. That's really my only complaint, is how rare it is to get a seed that's even workable.
Yeah, here's the other runner that did a no gold hell percent. This is Slink breaking his penalty, and I want to show just the nice thing about this City of Gold is he does everything you should do to break a penalty. He takes it extremely seriously, uses all the time before the ghost comes, and you can see every little step he's thinking, how can gold hit me? How can I take damage?
Right off the bat, it was a kind of rude start.
Yeah.
Normally you just get a push block that you have to push, and on no gold runs I always opt to push it instead of bombing. But you had to use a bomb or go around, but going around also looked kind of like a mess. I'm not sure if that
The
arrow
second
on
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell when I looked at it as well. You can definitely see a run just ending there if he had jumped to the right and it was not pre-triggered.
Yeah, really smart there.
Yeah. So he's studying everything, he's figuring out, how do I deal with these mummies? And this is a pretty good option. The rubies will never fly as far, if they're not loose already, they will not fly as far as gold, so that was pretty safe. He does a couple funny things later where he really gets away from some of the bombs that he's throwing. But no, I just really like the patience. This is a category that a lot of people will do once to break the penalty and then never play it again. I happen to love it because it's, I don't know, there's something sick about the category that makes me happy.
I think it's the 3rd least completed run that we have for penalty. I think it's It's eggplant and low percent hell are the two least needed, but I believe no gold hell is the next one. Max low and no gold low percent are also up there, but I know at one point no gold hell was the least out of those. I think it still is. I haven't checked in a little while though.
So again, he takes his time with an arrow trap that he's not really sure if it's been triggered yet or not, and throws a dead arrow down, and once again, it had not been triggered. It's just an easy way that in a speed run, where you're going for a fast time, you probably would have assumed that it was triggered.
Yeah, I mean, back when some of the old pros were first doing no gold hell, they did similar plays. Like back when no one had a no gold hell run, I remember Samot's probably was only a little faster than this, and look where Samot's got to. So
yeah, no kidding. So he does the bomb from below the Book of the Dead room, another safe technique. Takes about 2.5 full minutes for the City of Gold, but that's the level that beats runs, other than maybe the Black Market, but nice job by him. Look at the Yama run just for completeness. He does have the mitts, so he can't do any Sawyer strategies, unfortunately. I can't wait till this actually takes off and people start using it.
nice moves with vampires there.
So he actually does a pretty quick Yama fight, just looking at it. 4 quick ones? 5 quick ones?
Reassurance bomb.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad idea.
It's a very nice run by Slink. He had another couple of runs this week that weren't as interesting. Just because No Gold Hell is very interesting. But a 525 max any, a 717 max low, an 818 hell, and a 328 no teleporter any percent. So all these runs combined, he's been able to move up to number 53 on the rankings. So very nice to see him. He's also been helping out in the community. He's done a news before. So really nice to see people like that advancing.
Yeah, nice to see he's got some low percent skills as well, getting max low out of the way.
So Sawyer's got a draining Olmec here. He picked up the second jetpack in 3-1, and let's see how he finishes off Olmec here. Really nice to get a Spelunky draining Olmec. So I mentioned how Sling's helped out the community. Sawyer is actually developing an all achievements tracker. So a couple of us have been wanting to run the category either more or for the first time, and he's put together something that's almost completely ready for public consumption at this point. There's maybe 1 or 2 bugs still left, and there's some more work to do with the interface, but a really nice tool that I hope to be using at least a couple times in the future.
Yeah, it definitely makes the category more appealing. I like anything involving live split, just makes it more flashy.
Yeah, he actually coded it in, I want to say C++ rather than as an extension to live split. So the bad part about that is we're all used to downloading live split automatically. The good part about it, however, is you can do splits out of order, which is how the all achievements work. You can do the no gold run first, you can do the character run first. So sort of a
yeah, makes
sort of
more
necessary.
sense.
Yeah. Looks like we're buffering for some reason. I just want to double check that he does go below. Kills Olmec on the second run. Alright, I can tell from the... Alright, yeah, you got it. Well done. We'll say that's a success. I don't know, for some reason that Twitch VOD didn't preload, but nice job by Sawyer. A couple other big PBs that we saw this last week. Here is Night Harvester. He's actually entering the ice caves at 106, which would tell a lot of us this is an any percent run. But the fact that he starts out and he sees the pug and the worm tells him, no, this is a max any run.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's got some good skills with the teleport. He has a sub 150 in Spelunky. Actually, he really knows what he's doing with it, and you'll see with the Juba porting, I think he goes out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he doesn't like too fast. He doesn't hesitate with it. Nice
Should have had
grab.
sub 6. He went for about a 7.8 second run. Still
Shots
very nice.
Pleasant there
Yeah.
to go right to the exit. But it seems like he has a good grasp on the teleporter mechanics, all the movement mechanics. He uses it
Yeah.
properly to get into the mothership.
Oh, missed that rope there. So, I will say he already has a 212 any %, so that could be another reason why he went for this, but yeah, just a really nice... Oh, you gotta go through the Moai head.
Getting the extra HP was probably appealing too when you're on 1 HP. And the setup there, you just can't really get any better of a setup than that.
Oh, and the other thing that probably won't come out as well in this news, his video quality is also very nice to watch. So if you're looking for some good VODs, this is a nice person to take a look at. I think it's important.
Yeah, check out all of his YouTube vids.
Yeah, there are also just certain things that are easier to learn if you're watching. Not that first tier like Kinney, but some of these second tier runners like, I would say myself, or like Night Harvester.
I think I remember the Olmec fight. I want to say he does the early teleports
Oof.
and then reacts properly to it, but I can't quite remember. We'll see here.
What's the time penalty if you don't get that first teleport and you don't get him in the right...
Okay, so if you do, it's something we recently just found out with the help of Spef, Cold, and if he went for it, and he got the bad teleports, but he did it properly. But it doesn't actually lose any time. I believe it's still faster.
If you recover, it doesn't lose any time.
That's right, and you have time to recover. I don't think there's really any risk to it.
So 28.3 second Olmec fight.
Yeah,
Pretty
very
good.
nice.
Pretty good.
It can be a little under 25, or a little over 24, I guess, if you get the proper range teleports and have the nice little pause in between the teleports. But he didn't get the right distances there for it. But it was, like I said, still faster than it would be had he done the old school 4-bomb, no teleport fight.
Very cool. Alright, so our next runner we're going to spotlight is Shin Greywords. So he's been trying for a no teleporter any % for a very long time. I brought up his record progression, which you can get on Moss Ranking by finding a player and then clicking on recent runs by that player, filter by category, and you can see he's been very close to sub 3 for, I don't know, July.
For 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these, a couple extra bombs or paste would have gotten him here, and so finally he broke through. I've seen probably several of these live as well, but
Me too.
we'll see him.
There, he's talking about not quite sub 3.
Oh yeah, so this has haunted him for a long time.
Yeah, I got to see this 253 live actually, pretty cool, because
Nice.
I know he really wanted it for a while.
So the first thing I thought was interesting in this run, he's in 2-2 after getting the jetpack and the Matic in 1-2, which means if something weird happens to the shopkeeper, you can actually get a de-aggro. And we see here the shopkeeper was knocked off his original perch, he was confused rather than agitated, and we have de-aggro for the rest of the run.
Yeah, that's right. If you get a chance to leave a level without aggroing a shopkeeper who's stunned, you really want to go for it. On a speed run, you might not know if you did something that'll invalidate the de-aggro possibility. That'll make it impossible. But yeah, he did the right thing there, just avoiding him entirely.
But you can see this is saving him potentially 1 second on almost every of these exits here, and keeping the run alive, safer. So if you're looking for one thing that might have just put him over the edge finally in this category to be sub 3, Diagro is a really nice place to get those extra couple seconds.
Yeah, it helps a lot on any percent, no teleport at any percent, low percentile, anything really. Just being able to rush the exits. It also gives you a level of comfort and confidence, which
Definitely
can be important. One of the biggest things for people, including myself, can be nerves. So anything to lessen that.
Oof. So loses a lot of time in 4-1.
Yeah,
really...
I was a little worried when he had a long 4-1 there, but I think he has a couple fast levels. I don't think anything really goes wrong on Olmec either. Yeah. Really nice.
He had pre-triggered tikis there by those grasshoppers, but he times it right. That's an easy way to lose a run, though. Is one of those pre-triggered. Yeah, this is the dream level. This is what you want. He even drops the Matic, which is something I tried to do as well. I don't later in a video that we'll see later, but this just makes it so it's the Olmec fight we're used to. There's no extra button presses. Nothing can go wrong at this point.
Yeah, it feels weird to go into Olmec with a Matic on a down, so can't really blame it for dropping it.
So he even gets off that first bomb. That was a cold strat from a while ago, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Shin actually has a lot of really nice bomb strategies that he's been doing them for a long time too, like the Cascade. He knows how to do the 6-bomb Cascade well. He's been doing it for almost as long as me, and he knows a lot of the low percent fight strats. He used to get gaps a lot on his fights, so he now reacts to low percent Olmec fight gaps a lot and uses early bombs, so it's just, he's really got a good handle on Olmec at this point.
Just the right amount of torture from Derek Yu teaches you all these lessons. So you mentioned his low percent. He actually had a 1 second low percent PB in the last week or so. He got a 308, so still heading towards that sub 3 just for the low percent, and we'll get that someday.
Yeah, he had one run actually recently that was sub 3 pace into Olmec if he did a really stellar fight he's capable of, but I can't remember
Must
what
have died or something.
Yeah, I think it was Swans. Yeah. But yeah, he's capable.
So another runner who's made a lot of PBs recently is Chocolate Cake 5000. We're going to take a look at his max low 605. And of course, whenever I think max, I want to see what goes on the worm. It's one of my favorite areas of Spelunky. Maybe my favorite area.
It might be mine too.
Yeah. It's just there's always something to do. It's always
the first
different.
Several dozen times you do the worm, even if you're already good at platforming, it's just a pain.
Yeah.
But you can really get used to like the vines, or I'm not sure what those things are, but really the layout and everything you can get used to, and you can really make it work for you instead of against you. I got to see this run live too. Yeah. I believe it had some just over 5-minute paces die super late too.
Yeah, I was watching this as well, and I didn't know it was as large of a PB as it was going to be. This was about a 45-second PB for him. And actually, let me skip ahead a little bit. I'll show how we got into the mothership. About that.
Pretty unkind 2-4 there.
Oh, I was already looking ahead. But he actually gets in without using any ropes or bombs. Just
very
well. Yeah. That's the dream. I mean, I suppose you would want that on the same side as what you start on, but that's the dream.
Yeah. You can get it where it also only takes 1 landmine instead of 2, which is a little faster. But this was still better than
no complaints.
Yeah.
A little scary there with the UFO.
I like something I've noticed recently with Chocolate Cake is if he recognizes lately if an enemy is going to be a threat or not. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the past, and everyone does it originally, you'll kill enemies that aren't going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll just end up losing time. But in the mothership there in particular, you saw him just going straight by enemies that he could have easily killed, but they would have taken time. So
great point.
He recognizes they won't be a threat. Smart to grab that landmine there.
Yeah. So I mentioned this while he's doing the temple, but he also had a 349 max Annie, a 413 low no gold. Those are both about a 3-second PB, so very good times, but also just, not super interesting leaderboard wise. And then finally, about a 30-second big money completion of 941. He spent the whole last week alternating between 35 and 36. Him and Grunting Crunchy are really competing with each other right now. It's nice to see, and it's actually a direct competition. They're actually talking about needing to play Spelunky to beat the other person. So this is not just a, in an abstract way. This is very much they're going after each other.
I've seen Chocolate Cake. I believe it was the same stream that he got this 605 max low on. Mm-hmm. He lost like it was a sub 320 pace, low percent. He lost it right at the end of 4-3. And he had all of his bombs too. He could have dropped it down to like, I think 312 or so.
Wow.
If he opted for the 4-bomb fight. And also on his low percent no gold, there were some funky things going on with gold on Olmecs, so he went on like 4 flat pace. So I think we'll see a sub 4 from him there. I know he wants that.
If he grinds it, that's a tough category to complete, let alone get a PB in.
Yeah, it can be.
That category's wrecked me.
Yeah, me too.
Poor Kenny.
Nice 1-bomb there.
Yeah. So quite a few spawns. Nothing too dangerous. That extra HP going into the fight is really reassuring. Oh.
Nice monkey whip.
Yeah, that could have been it for him. But a 41-second fight and a 605 max load for Chocolate Cake. Very nice.
The head bobbing, you can see he was excited about it. Choco dance.
Very nice. So we got a PB by Little Ethy. I went through and watched this. The video quality is really bad. It speeds up and slows down. But I wanted to show this jungle level. He's 105 into, or 102 into 2-2. So very good pace for him.
He got on. He did that well actually, and he got 2 unlucky rolls there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, got a sub 4 if he just got
any reasonable level.
A nice roll there. But yeah, I don't blame him going for the HP and 2-2 down to 2 HP already. So
yeah. So a 32-second level on an any percent PB is not what you want to see. I'll take a look.
Nice to see him going for teleporters, though.
I
think it's important to learn teleporter mechanics early instead of avoiding them.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of looking down as well. So he's sort of safely teleporting.
Yeah, that's right. You can see that in the way Shin uses the teleporter. He has some safe plays, but he also has gotten relatively fast with it.
Had to fix a music issue there.
Cool.
But he's making good use of the extra HP from the Royal Jelly. So he's already lost 5 HP this run. So
he's playing these temple exits well.
Mm-hmm. See what he does with the teleporter here. Just TP down.
He really didn't want to lose the run at this point. Could have easily been a danger there.
Jeez.
Temple exits, they can get you like beyond your control, but he did end up going for it.
So a 22-second level and a 32-second level in the same any percent PB. That tells me Ethy is definitely possible of a low 3.
Yeah.
Really
definitely.
anytime. So his next PB will probably involve a Matic though. Oh, nice. First bomb strat? Alright.
Alright. It's the only way you can do the one bomb strat when you're holding the teleporter, actually.
Interesting.
We used to put the bomb down and pick it up, so I used to just think there's no way to do it on odd numbered bomb fights, but Cold figured that out.
So a little bit of a panic there by Aethy, but luckily he had positioned Olmec properly where there was space on both sides. So very nice 410 run by Aethy. Definitely a ton of room for improvement. Just in those two levels, if you take a 30-second level and a 20-second, make them both 10-second levels, that's a 340 run right there. So a lot of Moss points left on the table there. The last run we're gonna... No, that's not right. This is a little out of order, but we'll go for it. Oh, never mind. This is Sam CV. I thought this was a different runner. So Sam CV is doing a no teleporter any percent. Another runner with a really nice video quality. So if that's important to you, which it is to me, definitely another runner to check out. So 148, 149 into the temple.
Yeah, really impressive from Sam here. I'm not going to say he wasn't on my radar, but I didn't realize he was capable of some of the things he's been doing recently.
Yeah, he also got a 318 low percent this week, so definitely just there's something going on with him right now.
Yeah, and also he had a any percent with teleporter die right at the 4-3 exit. I think this morning or yet last night it was going to be with a good 4-bomb fight like 220 pace, which is kind of ridiculous because he just hit a sub 3 no teleporter any percent.
Another runner with the first bomb, even though he has 4 bombs.
Yeah, that was a mistake, but he did 3 bombs well and actually put it down afterwards, which it's a tiny bit faster. It's really not that important, but it's not that he didn't get confused by it. And yeah, 1 HP with that frog was scary.
Excellent finish. Excellent finish.
Yeah, really impressive. 252 already.
Maybe he figured he'd never have 4 bombs to Olmec, so he just practiced the 1 and 3 bomb strats.
Nice to see all these runners know the first bomb strat.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that took me the longest thing to learn. So we've got another run by Tic Tac Foe. This is his low percent no gold run of 507, and we'll take a look at 403. So he jumps over what could have been gold there, but at some point the game has to give you something, and in this case it did.
I really like his sprite.
What do I do here?
Scary.
Yeah, a little scary.
I've seen Tic Tac Foe on some pretty sick, just straight up low percent paces recently. I've also noticed I really like the pentathlon runs he does. He's also been doing some just straight up Spelunky streams lately, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned his pentathlon run. He actually set an 80% run this week, an 80% PB this week, in the middle of the pentathlon. And so his 326 80% probably could have been pushed a little bit harder if it wasn't in the context of this larger competition. So definitely capable of getting that down a little bit further.
Yeah, and he's done that in the past too. He's got 80% PBs during the pentathlon. So I think he has a ton of untapped potential because he gets these PBs relatively quickly.
Nice comments from the Twitch viewers, suspense and a lab difficult. So well done, low percent no gold. That is no joke of a category. And then the last video we're going to show is actually my no teleporter, max any no gold. This is only a couple second PB, but I thought the Olmec fight was worthy enough of showing on this news broadcast. So I usually try to not bring the the Matic in, but for some reason I bring it in anyways. Doesn't actually cause any problems, but
It's a really underrated category.
so gold everywhere, gold here. So I have to do this weird repositioning, and I actually thought when I was doing this that I had pulled Olmec a little bit too close to me and that he was going to crush me, but I just finally repositioned at the last second, and
Still 31 seconds.
yeah. So I lost maybe one stomp in time here, maybe two stomps that I could have avoided with better strats, but yeah, very proud of that little completion there.
Yeah, it's a really underrated category too. It's a lot of fun to run.
Yeah, anytime. Really, I have no chance of getting Moss points from a no gold, no teleporter run. So anytime I have a Matic and no gold, I'll tend to go for just a max run. Occasionally no teleporter, any percent, but I actually like the max a little bit more. The last thing to do on this news broadcast is to round up a couple of the runs that we didn't think were just quite ready for prime time. A-Bob had a pair of PBs. He had a 1346 base jump and an 818 max any no gold. I don't know, can you want to alternate reading off these, or?
Sure, yeah. And nice to see he also tackled max any percent no gold there. And we have Betty, also known as Hydra, got an any percent PB of 708 and a max any percent of 1139.
It's a generous way to refer to his other nickname, but Horse B or Horse F, we never really resolved that. Got a 1304 big money. He also turned this into a score run, so that was worth at least 30,000 Moss points in one run.
And then we had Luigi Dude 851 get a max any percent of 858.
Yeah, very nice. Maple Strip doing a little bit of practice in the temple with a 109 shortcut. Probably can improve that a little bit, but that's a nice first time to get on the leaderboard.
That's right, and then we also saw MNC Mascot, someone we've seen around Twitch and Discord lately, get an any percent of 433 and a low percent of 436, max any percent of 1042, big money of 2537, and a 1 million score run, 1,094,000.
I think that's actually the second time he's had an any percent run that was just a few seconds faster than his low. So maybe he needs to get a little more comfortable using the compass or jetpack or something, but very good times nonetheless. Finally, we've got Suspense with a 347 any percent and an 18-minute big money run to top it off, a 618 max any run. Any
Nice.
thoughts for you?
The any percent stands out for me there. I remember when he wanted sub 4. I think he had sub 4 before that, so it's nice to see him improving that. And also, we had our speedrun challenge wrapped up with Celeste. I think the person who got the best PB over the last 2 months, and that was Speff. But we're moving on, and we had a vote, and Chippendale Rescue Rangers from Old School Nintendo won the vote. So a handful of us are trying to run that. I'm getting into that a lot more. Celeste.
Cool. Yeah, I played Chippendale Rescue Rangers as a kid with my sister 20 some odd years ago. I'm a little intimidated to try another game, but at some point I'll get that emulator out and give it a shot.
You're dating yourself there.
I'm not even close to dating myself with 20 plus. But alright, well, thanks for watching the news. Again, make sure you show up for the grind this Sunday at 1 p.m. Any other final thoughts from you, Kenny? Or
Just looking forward to the next one.
alright, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in.